Hello friends, welcome back to a new video. So today I want to talk to you about the movie Oppenheimer and its philosophical things about Bhagavad Gita and why in India we could not produce someone like an Oppenheimer. So when I saw the movie, and as you have all known, there is certain references of Bhagavad Gita there. So there is a verse from Bhagavad Gita that is being quoted there where Oppenheimer is talking about the Vishwaroop when Arjuna is shown it's a Vishwaroop by Krishna, and it says like, I am become death, destroyer of the world. So in some way he is relating that grandeur, that explosion, like force of suns coming together, and Arjuna is feeling like he has seen the God himself. So there, how he is perceiving it to be something like a nuclear explosion. So that philosophical thing is even inspiring him to think more about the atomism, the power that is even in the minutest form, and how bombardment of neutrons resulting in a chain reaction, and the nuclear fission is happening in an enriched uranium-235, and how that energy is being used to create an atom bomb. So this is a very well evident fact that all great scientists were philosophers in their mind. Look at Newton, be it Albert Einstein, be it Tesla, or even be it Oppenheimer. You can see that. You can see and you can feel that within their mind they were philosophical. So why couldn't that philosophical thing in India be translated into this kind of a scientific revolution that we missed the train, that kind of a train that we missed, that we will look into. But when I had seen that movie, I again went into Bhagavad Gita, and there is I went took the translation that was written by Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, and it is talking about Sankhya and Yoga, and also it is talking about the true yoga. There is like, if the page number 187 is specifically related to yoga. So yoga in its sense, I have actually done a video earlier also. Like here the Purusha, or you can say Purusha, Prakriti and the Supreme Consciousness is coming together. And when you are talking about yoga or togetherness, it has to happen when you submit your mind to the divine. Right? Submit your mind to the divine in a non-utilitarian, unattached manner. So that these words are very, very important. Non-utilitarian, unattached manner. So that when you are submitting to the divine with very less or nil to zero ego, right? And that process, how it is happening through breathing in and breathing out and breathing in and breathing out, concentrating on that, removing all kinds of connected thoughts. Finally, you are getting a yoga nidra or something. Then once you come out of it, your mind becomes crystal clear. So I'm just think from a non-religious point of view. Why would someone like Oppenheimer would have been very much interested in it? Because all throughout his life, you see that personal tumultuous life has been so well portrayed in that movie. So if he is focusing on certain things unattached to the result, or in a non-utilitarian way, that means he's thinking that his life or his work like a meditation, then this principle of yoga is very well utilized by the scientists. And if you read Bhagavad Gita, they are not only talking about just breathing in and breathing out type of bhakti yoga. They are talking about karma yoga as well as jnana marg yoga also. So it can be through knowledge, it can be through devotion, and it can be through dutiful fulfillment of duty also. So this is why what I would say is like, although Bhagavad Gita clearly has religious elements, it can be interpreted in a very, very non-religious manner, and this philosophy can be adopted anywhere, be it in a management school, or be it for a scientist, be it for a student, or be it for a religious priest also. So that is why I would say that yoga and Indian philosophy also has such relevance as well. So now I will come to the second part of it. Why couldn't we create someone like an Oppenheimer? So like we see a lot of science happens from philosophy. So philosophically, you can see that Germany also has its share of fair amount of good philosophers, and whether many scientists hailing from them have been influenced by the philosophies. But in Indian context, the problem was very in a way very complex, because here there was not much of a requirement of an industrial revolution, because there was ample amount of population. So when they, if the people in the power wanted to make something or they wanted to build something, they have ample amount of slaves. So and our concentration, and that was one thing. Another thing is like whatever the our great rulers, whether it was Mughals or even before that, were more interested in art, architecture, philosophy, things like that. And an industrial revolution kind of thing is some way missed. That train got missed by us. So that is why the triggering of the industrial revolution that had happened in Britain or in the continental Europe, where the population is less, but there were ample amount of resources, and also there were resources like iron ore and coal, right? That was very much required for the industrial revolution. We had iron ore, we had coal, but at the same time, it's mixing of those things and the need for such a large-scale industrial revolution was in a way bypassed because of the huge amount of population and slavery which was present there. So this is even evident in the United States also. If you can see, the slave states in the south had a lot of plantation agriculture and they needed slaves, but in the northeastern areas where the Connecticut, New York and all those areas were not having that kind of amount of population, so at the same time they required the industrial output. So you see, even in the American Civil War, which side won actually? The side which was industrialized got victorious in the end. Even for us also, like there were certain things. See, if you read Jawaharlal Nehru's work like Discovery of India, he's talking about Maharaja Jai Singh, the second of Amber. No, not the Jai Singh that was with Aurangzeb, but the Jai Singh that came much later. So here he has actually constructed astronomical observatories in Ujjain, in Jandar Mandar and all. But unfortunately, he was a scientist in his mind, but he was a very small Rajput king, and all the glory of Rajputs were almost gone. So he could not have made such a big impact. He could not have become a Kaiser William I for India. He could not have become what maybe Napoleon started, where the industrial revolution in France, or it was continued furthermore by Napoleon III, Louis Napoleon. So India never had such emperors, to be honest, and it had the reasons were what I had mentioned earlier. So what happened in the end? We had a bountiful philosophy, but those philosophies in a way influenced, in a way inspired many scientists, and they made further creations and they praised India, but we somehow missed that train. So that is what some of the thoughts that have come to my mind when I saw the movie Oppenheimer. If you have not watched the movie, I would say please do watch it, because it is clearly telling the politics of US from 1939 till the post-war 1954-55. Because 39 initially, it is very well evident that Einstein and Oppenheimer, people like them, wanted an atom bomb because they were very scared that what would if an atom bomb would have been there in the hands of Nazis. Because Oppenheimer himself was an Ashkenazi Jew, so he knew that what would Hitler do. So he expedited that process, and even in the post-war, where during the time of Truman and the McCarthy era, there was a clear-cut red scare. So anyone who was slightly considered as red, like close to socialist, communist leanings, were kind of frowned upon. So those kind of politics and how and his personal struggles was very well portrayed in that movie. So with this background and with this philosophical background, if you watch the movie, I would say for a thinking, history-loving individual, that movie would be not less than a treat, I would say. And also imbibe the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Why that unattached, non-utilitarian submission to something that is divine. Let's forget a divine. Just say that divine is X or Y or Alpha or Omega. You focus on something without ego, without thinking of anything achieving that. Then you make your mind clear of connected thoughts, and And once you come out of that phase of yoga nidra, that is the time when your mind becomes calm and quiet. And always do remember that the best of performance and the best of decisions always come from a calm, quiet, and composed mind. And that is where all genius creations have happened. So this is one thing about yoga, or this is one thing about the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita that I wish to wish that you would understand. And also, if you see the Jaina monks, you can say that why would you would be surprised that there are Digambara Jaina monks. They are completely sky-clad or nude. Why would they even shed their clothes? Why? Because in a way, philosophically also, it is away from all the attachments. Even when you shed your clothes, you become completely nude. What would happen? You are like now, your ego is bare minimum in that sense. So this is where some of the philosophies of India or the Indian tradition that we had, but somewhere we didn't use it for science and technology as per se, but foreigners or many from the West, they have made use of it. So this is where certain things that I wish that you can think about. Also read about Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, its translations, and also do watch the movie Oppenheimer with these thoughts in your mind. Stay tuned. Thank you. Have a nice day.